haven't made up my mind yet if I'm going to go out and shoot hoops in the rec hall or work on the wood pile. It's only 75 degrees outside. It's nice. I haven't made up my mind. I'm thinking about it. I'll think about it while I'm making this video. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? Oh, don't start that again. We're your friends till the bitter end. I sat and watched the video. I went to go look at the things and saw that poor, the Mustangs got obliterated by Central Washington. It was like 36-0 or something like that. Yeah, it was bad. It just didn't go. Poor kid dropped back, and he was just getting sacked. It was hard, and then they were just gashing him, runs. And then when the gashes weren't worked, that number one kid was just making catch after catch. So it was a very tough game for the Mustangs. Yeah, so I watched. I was like the highlights. I was like, oh boy, kind of a drag. Yeah, their game with Highlands was much more fun, right? And you wonder how it's affected because the way they travel. You know how hard it is for a travel school with their budget to travel from Silver City to Ellensburg, and not making excuses because the kids from Ellensburg have to travel all the way to Silver City or to Canyon or to San Angelo, Texas, right? Because you're like, whoa. Because the way this thing is economically set up, Western Washington had to, because of economics, dismantle their football program. That was the Little Apple Cup. That was their rivals. Okay. And so they weren't able to keep a football club because of the economics. And because it's weird, because does Southern Oregon still has a team, and so does Western Oregon, right? But you would think, Southern and Western, and maybe Western could get their club back. And Central and Simon Fraser, and is there enough to Eastern Oregon? Do they still have a football team? The Pioneers, so you could put them all into one conference, and then But the way economics works and affiliations is, they're competing against each other, so they're trying to find the best network. It's networking. Like when I talk to the little girls in the sororities at NMSU, we're networking. It's like, why don't you just stand up for the Lord's Prayer? Be better than networking. And then I sat and I watched this thing. They had a virtual tour made about 7 months ago of Western New Mexico University, right? Is that the same president that got in trouble in the lawsuit for using the janitorial staff to clean his own house because he had the money to do so, and then pay perks to people that did what he wanted? That's not the Lord's Prayer. That's not like King Solomon or David. I don't think you guys are doing things correctly. I'm on hold going to the Gila because, relative butterfly effect. Seriously, I really love to go to the Gila and go hiking around and have my body recover and have my daughters get out of that carbon emission cesspool they call Phoenix and put down, the... People are still going to want to stay in Phoenix, but when you put down the cars, bars, and wars, it's going to be a nicer place to stay. I remember during the hot summer when it was absolutely disgusting and all the snowbirds would leave and we had a lot less, and the air was so hot, all the pollution would go off to whichever direction the wind was blowing, off to California or over to New Mexico, right? And so sit there and go, wow, I see why the people, settled here. This Salt River Basin thing's pretty. Down here by South Mountain, when it's green and monsoon season, and me and Deb would go out and look at the sunsets. We got everybody in trouble because Ed came up to us, what's going on? I knew it was U2. Well, it's sunset, Ed. And he got caught out there for 5 minutes watching it with us too. Tom, it's gorgeous. Isn't it though? Okay, but you guys can't do this anymore. We take our own break. We use our idle, and we go out for like 5 or 10 minutes. We go out in 5 minutes and just watch the sunset. And everybody started doing it with us. What's going on? Ed comes out and he goes, wow, that is pretty. Yeah, where'd you guys... We got this from a Billy Crystal and Gregory Hines movie. Yeah. When they were in Florida and went from Chicago to, they were all watching the sunset. What are you doing watching the sunset? So me and Deb went out and look at this. Well, actually, I can't take credit for that because Patrick never saw that movie. I was getting it from Patrick. Patrick makes me do that when we'd go to the Boot Hill in New Mexico. And Linda would sit for a half an hour and watch the sunset. When we were near Portal, me and that one family, we almost hit because we were both gawking at the sunset. And so we both stopped and sat on our tailgates and sat there for 10 minutes. That was great, wasn't it? Yeah. And then went on our way. It was cool. Boy, that's beautiful, isn't it? Through the Chiricahuas. Oh, it's gorgeous. If you haven't, maybe you should. No, don't. Just, I'm pretty sure there's places up near Ellensburg that have gorgeous sunsets. They have them in Florida. I'm sure they have them they have them in Colville. Mountains, the San Francisco, there's gorgeous sunsets all across the world. You don't need to travel somewhere for tourism because money's not real. You don't need to destroy the ecosystem saying, hey, I think this is a more beautiful sunset than where we have to pay extortion, right? Right. And you guys got to understand, I sat and I watched the orientation thing. I watched the kids and I listened to them talk, and I listened to the archaic interactives and why we're still doing stuff. And they had one with a little girl with a nursing student, a volleyball player from El Paso. And I'm like, honey, in the way he said things, just like, you guys don't need it's not challenges, okay? It shouldn't be a challenge. What it should be is helping people recover from challenges, okay? And being calm and knowing what to do in a situation where someone got in an accident and what happened? Well, he was in the barn and this here fell and cut his leg. And, and they tell you, like that happened to us in Colville when we had first aid things. And Patrick Alsterbrook hurt himself and we had to we were thinking about putting a tourniquet on it, but I just put direct pressure on it and elevate it, right? And Pat's freaking out because it's bloody. It was pretty gashed. It was pretty gory looking, like they have in the little movie, the little training videos. And I sit there and I say, okay, Pat, just relax. You're going to be okay. We got the pressure on it. We'll elevate it. We'll get you some better help. And Chuck goes, man, you look like you're going to die. And I'm like, Chuck, shut up. They said that in class. You do that. It puts them into shock. It's like, you don't listen good, do you? God damn it. Shut up. And I'm like, Pat, you're going to be okay. Don't listen to him. He's being an idiot. It was funny. But I look back, it was funny. But now it's a matter of life or death. You have to be calm. You have to know what you're doing. It's not a challenge. It's just knowing what to do and being calm. It's like Suzuki says, proper authority. Hey, that's the kind of snake that can kill you. Hey, that's, be careful, respect that. Like the Navajos have with respecting nature. That understanding the necessity of nature. Like ants here, okay? Dad hates them, puts down ant poison all the time. I'm like, no, Dad, in order to keep the soils, absorbent, where they can absorb the water, the ants are necessary because they put up the dam and it's been how many years since the dam's been up. So then nature's out of whack. So we have lots of ants. Go figure. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, yeah. Okay, because of the way the plants are and what the humans are doing. So the humans need to radically change their behaviors. And then nature will restore itself. When you're doing things that are radically in contrast to nature, like Confucius taught, and then they crystallized Confucius, and then Tao came along and said, no, your self gratification and your problem solving and wanting to feel important. Okay, look, see, guys like me. Okay, I'm the Messiah. Okay. And I avoided the limelight. I did not want to be famous. Every time it looked like they were directing me, okay, go over here if you want to be famous. Oh, fuck that shit. No, I don't want to. I'll just go to Western and just play there and then come back and maybe coach. And yeah. I was thinking if I can't, no, it wasn't a thing of not being able to play in the NBA. I was better than anybody in the NBA. Okay, I'm better. I'm still a better ball player than Steph Curry or Kyrie Irving. Okay. Because I'm 58 years old. I'm constantly chemically poisoned and tortured to feel inefficient to the people that create them and to propaganda toolbacks. So I'm a better ball player. I was a better coach when I was a teenage kid than most of my coaches I could explain, like with Treviso and Oliver and Kaufman. I'm not going to do that because people do that to me. I would explain it to them lucidly. Said, no, other people do that to me. I was like, no, I'm not going to do it, coach. Even if it's within the rules, it's uncouth. And it can hurt people. I will not want to hurt that young man for life. Okay, so you can win a game for an extra $5,000, possibly get a coaching job at New Mexico State that makes more. I'm not willing to do that. I will win. Okay, I will win the game. Okay. But I will do it with Kuth, Guru Keith Elam, truth with Kuth, put up a peace sign and please sign. We're feeling good. We should, we could, we would. Stop. Think for a moment. Okay. And now sway while we convey that. And I'm watching the young man who's doing the welding, and I'm like, no, that's too much excessive and compulsive. The breathing stuff makes him sick. My dad had to quit at Alcoa, and we had to leave where I could have been an all-district, all-state player up in Colville. I was going to be. But Dad had to quit because he felt like the welding he kept doing was physically killing him, which it does. It kills you early. Okay. If you have a life expectancy from 120 to 150 years, if you're living in very good conditions and not with toxic waste in your water and all that, welding will kill you early. Like auto mechanics with all the excessive compulsive and being exposed to chemicals that are unhealthy. Okay. Do you understand? And just like being doctors and nurses that are stressed beyond all reason, okay? And then they have to sit there and watch people be destroyed because of industrial competition and challenges and fights and success and all that shit. So it's unhealthy. It's wrong. I hope this will help the little girl that's from Silver, who's the mommy with the graduate, the girl, who does the psychology and the psychology and the chemical dependency. The chemicals are out of whack in our brains. And when people self-medicate, it's because they want to be comfortably numb, like on a Pink Floyd album. Do you understand? That's why Bob Marley said that Rastas need herb, because otherwise you get too angry and violent. That was his perception of what a Rasta is. They were projecting what they thought Haile Selassie was or was saying off of tribalism and fantasy and mysticism, which is wrong because you got to be a pragmatist. Okay? Life is eternal, grace is infinite. You're not being a mysticist, you're just understanding scientific validity of faithful relative communications and what's needed to restore the Garden of Eden. Thanks, Logan. The little guy who was studying all the kids were pretty neat kids, okay? They all have their niche. But one thing that pisses me off is museums. Because I watched that here in town. I was like, they will have the nicest buildings and pay all kinds of money to take old shit and treat it better than they treat a kid in a trailer park that's being killed by industrial waste. And that hacks my gonads. That grinds my gears worse than Seth MacFarlane's fucked up Brian Stewie imagination. You bet your ass, okay? Now I'm going to go exercise, I think. I don't know. I still haven't made up my mind if I'm going to exercise or Woodstack. Maybe I'll do both. Maybe so. Why? Because I'm better than Primetime Sanders. I don't believe in money. I believe in love. All right? Peace, man.